All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Nikki and Brie Show. Now, today's a solo Nikki episode because I wanted our next guest all to myself. And I'm excited to be joined by one of the brightest lights in the wrestling world. She's proven that strength and kindness can absolutely coexist. She's a Grand Slam champion, a role model, and someone who's spent her career lifting others both inside and outside of the ring. From mentoring young female wrestlers to giving back to her community, she's exactly the strong and kind woman we all strive to be. Please welcome my amazing friend, WWE Superstar Bayley.
That was so nice.
Aw,
So
well, it's all
nice.
true.
Gosh, thank you. That's
You're
very sweet of you.
welcome. So, what's up? How's life been?
Well, life's been good actually.
Yeah.
It's so hard when people ask that question because like what we do consumes most of it, but I've with
Yes.
the it's kind of interesting with like having no live events and not doing as many shows just to kind of see like okay what's my life like and what do I have opportunities to do outside of this now. So I've
Mhm.
been like kind of exploring with different things and trying to figure out like what I want to do on top of this. Like wrestling was always my hobby and now I'm just trying
Yeah.
to figure out like okay what am I going to do on top of everything and on top of this
Yeah.
career. So just
Have
yeah.
you have you found anything like through that journey yet that like you're into?
Um, just not career wise things. Like I've always pictured myself doing continuing on with wrestling and wanting to open a
Mhm.
school someday. And I'll be running a seminar next month to kind of wet my feet in that stuff. So uh, non wrestling stuff is kind of a little bit harder for me because this is all I've ever wanted to do. So yeah, I'm open to like all possibilities. I'm just accepting everything that comes my way and trying not. There's one thing that I've learned recently is like to say yes to more things, even if it's just like going out and hanging out with people that I normally wouldn't, just because you
Yeah.
never know what's going to happen or who you'll meet. So I'm just trying to be more open. That was a very long-winded answer to what you asked
No,
me.
but I love that, and later, I definitely want to get back to about the wrestling school and the different things that I've been seeing you do, but first, it's like, you do so many things, and you've been a part of the industry for so long, and you're always traveling. How do you stay so grounded and centered?
I think I've just always stayed a fan at heart, and it's really and it's such a roller coaster, like some days you're on top of the world or have a great match or something you're really excited about, and then something next week humbles you real quick where it's like all right, I can't just ride that wave for so long. And I think meeting all of the younger girls that come in and are
Mhm.
so eager to learn, and having people like you come back and having Natty around and seeing all the things she's been through to just to get a match on TV. There's so many people around us that have so much I don't even know how to explain it. That just kind of helps you remember who
Yeah.
you are and where you started and why you're here and what your purpose is and what you mean to other people. Because I've always wanted to just make people feel the way I felt when I watched
Mm.
WWE and watched wrestling. So knowing my purpose is to inspire people to not just if they want to become a wrestler, but to live out the craziest dreams, because this is the wildest thing I never saw myself doing. And
Yeah.
just I love being around family and friends, and I've had the same friends, like my same group of friends, since I was 10 years old. So that really helps me continue in everything that I do, no matter where I go and travel in the world. My family and my friends are always there for me.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how family and friends and like old school friends, like before you get into the chaos of it all, like they truly do keep you so grounded. They
Yeah.
bring you right back to your roots, and it's so necessary to have that, especially in the industry we're in where we give so much, or we're doing things that people just don't even know unless you're in the industry. Like they don't understand the true meaning. But I've been the same way and breathe the same, that family and best friends have always kept us so grounded.
Yeah, it's the
It's
best. It really is.
it
And like
is.
they don't care, they care about us, but they don't care if
Yes.
you become a Grand Slam champion or the first woman to
Yeah.
ever do this. Like they're happy for you because it's your dream. But they just want to hang out and go eat and, like, can you watch my baby
Yeah.
while I go on a date with my husband? Like, they don't care about that stuff. You met one of them
Totally.
the other day at TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her name was Brienne. She was with her other friend and her daughter. And I've known her other friend for a long time too. But Brienne was like, when my parents split and I moved to a different neighborhood and went to a new school, she was the first person to talk to me. And so, like, she's
Oh.
been there through everything.
Oh my gosh, she
Yeah.
was so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, speaking of that, I didn't know that you came from a divorced family. How old were you when your parents divorced?
I was in second grade, so
Oh,
I
you were
guess like
2nd
8 years old.
grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy.
How was that?
It was hard. I was a little, I think my oldest sister, so I have two older sisters and a younger brother. So the oldest one, she's maybe 8 years older than me. She, of course, had it harder because she understood everything, where I was still pretty young and, kind of not quite understanding everything until we had to go through like counseling at school, and as siblings had to go to counseling classes and stuff, which when I look back, it really did help me. But I always, in a weird way, think that if this is, I don't know if this sounds bad to say, but if my parents hadn't split, I wouldn't have gotten into wrestling, because my mom
Oh.
absolutely hated it. And she
Mhm.
wouldn't, she loves it now and is my biggest fan, but she wouldn't have let me watch it just because of what it was like back then. So,
Yeah.
yeah, my dad got me into it. And so I always see that as a little silver lining,
Oh
but
my
it's
gosh,
fine now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a part of your journey. You start to realize, like, when things are, like, meant to happen or when they say things are meant to be. It was, like, just your
Yeah.
parents were meant to divorce to bring you there, and
Yeah.
did you guys do when you were at that age, then having your other siblings, did you do, like, one house 1 week, move to the other one, like or did you do the
Yeah.
2, 2, 3? Yeah.
So it was weird. It started out slow, like it was, it was like every other Wednesday for like an hour we were with one of the parents. And then we were with my dad like the rest of the time. And then it became like every Wednesday and every Sunday, and then it was every weekend. And so it's just kind of um I don't know, all the courts had to go through all this crazy, legal stuff where I was just like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I get to see my mom or I get to see my dad. But then it became, once you get older, you kind of decide what you want to do, split holidays and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel you on it. That's why I have so many questions because I think of, like, what I go through with Teo and, like, how he has to do all his half and halves and holidays,
Yeah.
and he's 5, but it's worked out. It's great, and so far, and so I think it'll stay that way, but it's neat. So, okay, so you start watching wrestling at your dad's house, and you're
Hmm.
like, "I wanna do this." Like,
Yeah.
young age, like, that's what you wanna do.
Yeah, it was really strange. I think my dad was showing it to my brother. Like, they would watch it more
Mhm.
often. We were actually living at my grandma's house at the time, and I didn't really care for it. Nothing really caught my attention until I saw Macho Man one time. I was just walking by the living room and I saw Macho Man come out, and it's just like one of those cliche things that you hear,
Mm,
but it was so true. I was just like glued from then on.
I
Just
got
something
you.
about him, like, I mean, it's Macho Man. We were just talking about
Mhm.
him the other day, but
Yeah.
he's my favorite, still is. I pull so much inspiration from him because he's just energy, and that's, like,
Mhm.
it's, you can't even explain it, you can't teach it, but everything he was just, you gravitated towards him. And yeah,
Yes.
so I started watching then, but I think what happened was my dad was watching a WCW clip, and so when I started watching WWE, he wasn't there, and I just didn't really like put it together or understand what was happening, but I was obsessed from then on. I was like 10 years old, and yeah, it was a problem.
Wow. I love it, though. And was it like when did you have the vision of, like, "Okay, I'm gonna do this, and this is how I'm gonna do it?"
I didn't know. I never knew how I was gonna do it. Like, if you talk to certain people, they have like a plan, unless they were,
Yeah.
from other countries, which is much harder to figure out how you're gonna get there. But I think I was 12 or 13. I went to my first independence show, and
Mm.
being that close, like, I had been to WWE shows before, but we were sitting so up high, so it just feels impossible to get there.
Yeah.
And at my first independence show, I remember being like in the second or third row, and I was watching the guys' feet on the mat, like on the canvas, just
Mhm.
watching their footsteps and watching how much pressure their foot pushed into the mat, and it just like clicked me like these guys are just human. I'm like I'm a human, I'm a person. And then seeing them take down the ring afterwards, they were
Yeah.
still in their gear, and some were like had their towels, they had just showered and came in, were taking the ring apart, because that's what you do on the independence, you put it up and take it down.
Yeah.
And it just really like humanized it for me, which made it really possible for me. And so I kept going to those shows and getting closer and getting to know those guys. And then it wasn't until I was 18 till I found out that they ran their own school. And so I
Wow.
started with them. But it once it hit me that I can do it, then I felt like it was all the girls just started killing it, and then everybody started like getting more time, and everybody started main eventing, and it was I started reaching out and started seeing more and more women's wrestling, that I was such in the WWE bubble. I didn't really
Mhm.
see what else was out there. And once I realized I could do it, then I really started studying a bit more, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what I appreciated so much about like the raw FCW, like all of us at the beginning, because we had to put up the rings and break them down. Like there was like no excuses. And
Yeah.
that's what I always remember is like who was driving the truck that day with the trailer in the back to get the ring
Yeah.
there and make sure you get there early. And so it was so crazy for me as like the years went on when all of a sudden the talent didn't have to do that anymore. And I
My
the
cats.
cat
Yeah.
agrees. Yeah. Um, but I feel like you're right. It like gives you a different perspective of everything. I mean, yours was a lot different because I was already signed with WWE when I saw that, but I just remember getting a different feeling from it, from
Yeah.
what you see on TV. And then when you go to these smaller shows and you're like, oh, okay, wait.
But that
And I
also
remember
bonds
going to,
you.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it makes you in such a different way.
Yeah.
And have a different love and appreciation, but it builds you different. Like, it builds the grit, and
Yeah.
I love when things are based off grit. But I remember being at FCW, and it's because a lot of you have posted recently about the 20th anniversary Shimmer,
Oh yeah.
and I remember, it was one night or we were all at school, and then a bunch of the girls were like, "Yeah, we're going to Shimmer Friday night. Like, do you and your sister wanna come?" And Brianna were like, "Oh my gosh, for sure." And it was outside of Tampa, like, way in the boondocks somewhere. Um, and I remember falling in love with it. It was with, I think, Chrissy and I think her name was Trinisha. Heath was dating her at the time,
Hmm.
and Chantel, there's a bunch of us. And
Yeah.
I just remember sitting watching that show, and I was, like, in
What
awe of, like, just watching all the women.
was it in Ybor City?
Maybe, but Ybor still feels like it was too close.
Okay.
I feel
What
like it was even further, like gosh, I'm trying to think. It would have been in what year? Let's see. If I signed in 2007, it was probably around, like, 2008, maybe 2000, yeah, maybe 8.
okay. 2007, that was crazy.
Isn't that
That's
crazy?
so cool.
I know,
Eh,
it's been a long time. I mean,
yeah.
the fact that we're about to hit 2026 and I'm like, "Whoa, I've almost been doing this for almost 20 years,"
Yeah.
and
That's insane.
still love it, still feels new at times. So I have a question. So you've inspired obviously so many people through your evolution in WWE. I mean, being a part of the evolution, for horsewomen. How do you feel like you've evolved personally alongside your career?
Oh man. I really think that I sometimes I think about Paige, when she was signed at 19 or something, she literally
Yeah.
grew up as an adult. But I really see like the parallels of me as a person, and the connected with my characters, when I first got signed and I started the hugger character, I connected with that character so much, and I think it worked because I really felt all those things, where like
Yeah.
I was living my dream and excited. My cat
Was
just
that the cat?
Yep, my cat just broke something. I should probably let them out, but they'll be fine.
No, they're
Um,
yeah, I love it.
yeah, they it adds character to this
You
interview.
know what I mean? It
Yeah,
really does. Makes it real,
yeah.
Here we go.
So like yeah, I think I was like so excited to be there. I was so excited to work with all my heroes and meet them and stuff. And then as I see those as like like little kid years, and then as I started growing and got on the main roster, I was like a teenager that became bratty, and then I was like causing trouble and just like thought it was hot stuff, and then came back as with Damage Control with Dakota and Io, where that was more of
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm in my adult age, and now I'm here to help others, and now I'm here to put others on the map. And I think being in WWE for now I've been here for almost 13 years, and it's taught me like patience. It's taught me um how to help others in ways like to
Mhm.
be unselfish. And
Mhm.
it's also taught me confidence, because I would say I'm a very social person. I've always had large group of friends, all from different walks of life and everything. But I didn't feel super confident in myself. I may have come off that way with my friends because I was just having a good time. But when it came to putting on a dress or going out and dancing or talking to somebody one on one, it was hard for me when I
Mhm.
was growing up. And I think WWE just taught me how to be confident and how to be comfortable with myself, because we're on TV and we don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
And being able to just meet so many people from all over the world, and it's just given me that I don't know, sense of self, of power and all that. And it's crazy
Mhm.
that things that I never expected to experience when I wanted to be a wrestler. With like, I didn't know how much I was going to love traveling. I didn't know I was going to grow up as a human being here. I didn't know that I was going to be able to learn from the women about how to become a woman myself. Like
Mm.
it gave me everything. So, I just wanted to wrestle, but I was given a whole life. It's been
Yeah.
amazing.
I love that. I love the things that you say because I've talked about this quite a bit on the Nikki and Brie show of this like new era of me coming back. And it's exactly what you say is, and I think all moms, we've kind of start to feel this way in such a selfless way where we just lose ourselves. Like unselfishly, we just lose ourselves when we have kids because our whole world becomes about these children, this child, and that was the one thing where I was yearning so bad to be Fearless Nikki again was because I knew I needed confidence again, and I needed all these things that I just forgot about or left out because I was just in mom mode and wanted to give my all to this child, and you just one day look in the mirror and you go, "Who am I?" Like, I lost her,
Yeah.
and the ring was the one place in being Fearless Nikki, I knew was the one place where I could get all that back, and it's crazy to see, like, I even think because 'cause it's been almost now a year being back, and it's crazy to see, like, just even my walkout from Rumble till now, like, no confidence to little bits back at Evolution, but not fully, but, like, slowly and surely, because it's like, it just doesn't come back overnight,
Yeah.
but it's crazy so far this year, how much has come back and now how much more I feel it and feel confident in and out of the ring, but it's all due to WWE and just being out there and being
Yeah.
Fearless Nikki.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy that you say that, because nobody else would ever see. We all see it in ourselves, but no one else would
Yeah.
ever watch you and be like, "Oh, she doesn't look confident." When you walk
Oh,
into a room, we're like,
thank
"Oh shit, Nikki's
you.
here."
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all like, "That
Yeah.
look all right."
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, but by the way, you're the same. Like even last Monday, Amita was like, "Wait, where's Bailey? Like, where's Pam?
oh,
Like, why you almost remind me of John." I remember back in the day, even before John and I were together, but when John would go off and film The Marine or if there was a movie, everyone would say like, "Whoa, you miss his presence." Like
oh,
John
that's
has such
crazy.
a strong presence when he walks down the hall, when he's by the ring, when he's watching everyone's matches. So you would miss his presence when he's gone. It would be recognizable. You'd be like, "Wait, where is he?" But you're the same way. It's like,
That's
"Wait, where is she?
crazy.
Why isn't she here? We need her." Come
You missed
on.
that
It's like
my annoying laugh.
yeah, I just miss everything, like, coming in and feedback and laughs and jokes and
Yeah.
drinks and whatever it might be.
Yeah, we
I was
love
like,
that part.
"Do we get in the drawer?"
Yeah.
But
Hey, you're welcome in the drawer whenever I'm not there.
okay,
That's a
good.
communal drawer.
It is? Okay,
Yeah,
good. I need to start to give more to that drawer then.
right.
So,
We had
what I
we had
take,
to
I'll put back in.
we had to clear out. It's always a thing. I feel like we need to. Do you have a drawer yet? You've been
No,
back
I
for a
don't.
year? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
We have.
always wanna get a drawer, but I just feel
Oh
bad
my
asking, and so
no.
but
Okay, we're gonna do that on Monday
okay, I
because
would
I
love that.
we
Okay, yay, so you're gonna be there Monday.
yeah, I'll be there Monday.
Okay, I was like I mean, and I know you can't say much, but I'm like, "What's going on with you and Lyra?" Like, I love it so much. It
Yeah.
works so good, and it's entertaining.
Mhm.
So, like, I'm all down for that, like, characters, entertainment, like that. I love that. It was actually there's a bunch of us, producers, girls, guys, like, I mean, like, group of 6 or 8 of us, but it was some of the old school producers, but we all were sitting around saying how much we miss the characters and the stories, whether it was like ruining weddings in the ring or like
Yeah.
girls being bitchy or this, or we were just talking about all the different characters, Santino, like all the things that we all
Yeah.
used to do. But you guys give me those vibes of like slowly getting back to that, you know?
Yeah, I feel, it's like a weird time in wrestling too where you can't really tell what the fans really want right now if they want more of like the realism of like this is this person and they're a professional wrestler and they're a WWE superstar and this is what they do and they're just them. You know, where back in the 90s or early 2000s was straight up all character stuff, was all gimmicky stuff, you know, but that's the stuff I love. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to like wrestle for the rest of my life, so I may as well
Yeah.
have this character that I can lean on, which is what I did when I first got signed. Like nobody cared about my wrestling; they wanted to see me hug somebody. So like if
Yeah.
I just think back on that, that I really enjoy doing that kind of stuff, and if you can mix it in with having good tag matches or having a
Yeah.
tag partner like Lyra, who she is legit
She's
one
unreal.
of the top 5 wrestlers we have in the company, right? She's
Like,
insane. Yeah,
like, I mean,
insane.
insane.
Yeah.
Like
It's so annoying.
her and Io
Yeah.
make my jaw drop, but Bailey, you're up in the top 5 too, like, you are flawless in the ring.
No, they
No, but
are.
you're so good, you know what you do very well than most? You tell good stories, and you take your time, you engage the crowd, you get them in, we need that,
Yeah.
and then Lyra just flawless, like,
Right.
strength, timing, like, pulls out different things, and then Io's like unreal.
Yeah,
I watch
she's
Io and I'm like, "Holy cow," like, she just does stuff that, like, no one else can. It
yeah.
just blows my mind
When
always.
I always say that, like and this was before I even started working with EO with damage control, but whenever I would plan matches or plan something like, "Oh, I'd like to try this," I pictured myself doing it as effortlessly as EO does anything, and then I'd watch it back and I'm like, "Oh no, that's not how I saw it in my head." But then EO does it and she makes like she'll get into the
Oh,
ring and just like springboard just to get in. I'm like, "How do you wake up in
yeah,
the morning?" Like we make fun of her like, "Oh, you nip up out of bed, don't you?" Like
I could see that.
you brush your teeth hanging upside down and then you backflip and friggin' eat breakfast. Like
100.
so
I for
annoying.
sure see that, and then
Yeah.
there's Asuka who will just I think she'll forever be one of the greats, and she just makes everything look so
Yeah.
easy, and, you know, she's another one who tells really good stories, and, I mean,
And she's been
it's
doing it for so long.
so long,
Dude, like
like, it's
she
crazy.
yeah, she's one of my top 5 favorite people to be in the ring with. So
I agree.
she turns on that like fighter mode where you're standing
Yeah,
across from her and you just feel like, "Ooh, I got to fight."
yeah,
She just
and
does something.
you know what I really love about her? Like, from people I've worked, because 'cause I've worked so many different people
Yeah.
over the past 18 years. Um, I love when people are about the match and not about themselves. And when I got to work with Asuka, I was like, whoa, she's truly about the match and both people looking good or however many people are in it.
Mhm.
She just wants to put on an incredible match. And it's, you know, sometimes you'll go to do something and it's about the person wanting to get all their shit in and you're like, oh, and it's like pulling teeth and
Yeah.
but, I like, you're the same. There's a lot of women that are the same, and especially more so, I think, in this era, but, it I was just like it just made me fall in love with her even more. She's just so giving
Yeah.
and is just Like, she would make one day if she wanted to be a coach, but I feel like you're the same too. She'd be an incredible coach. Like,
Yeah.
Natty's the same. When I started to train with Natty and how she was doing, I'm like, "Natty, you need to be a coach." She's like, "No." But I'm like, "Well, you're already doing it. You don't even
Yeah.
realize it."
She's
Like,
doing it for
you're
fun because if you put a label on it, then it feels like work, I'm sure. But I mean,
totally.
we could say that about anybody in our locker room, truly, that
I
like
agree.
everybody's so giving and it's become like I think I came into the company looking at things different or looking at the locker room different and not in a selfish way because I played team sports where I was
Yeah.
just that's just what I felt like, well, we're in this together, like we're in the ring, our lives are in each other's hands and why
Yeah.
not get better together? And I feel like that's everyone's mentality right now. Like there's not one
Mhm.
person that I could say is out there for themselves or like of course there's moments when like and I talked to John about this before. Like what's the story of the match? And sometimes the story is not about you
100.
like there's a lot of times where it's just about that one person and we have to be confident enough and humble enough and everything to understand that and be like okay well I'm gonna do everything I can to make it's not about me and then you're gonna beat me and I'm gonna roll out and you have your moment like there's so many moments like that but there are like everybody understands that it's not pulling
Yes.
teeth with certain people and it used to be like that like I'm sure you experienced it like you said a bunch I've experienced it before but we're so lucky with the locker room right now and I feel really like I know I tell you this all the time but I feel really grateful that you've come back and we're in a place to where it's not like either you're like ugh I remember these problems. I don't think I'll stick around long, you know, like where like I feel
Yeah.
like you enjoy us and I like to be able to like we all get to learn from you and I feel like we help you in different ways too. So like it's just been such a great thing having you back and seeing how much you
Oh.
nobody knows how much you put into your matches and how much you care
Oh.
and how much you make us feel important. So I think every
Oh.
all your listeners should know that too.
Well, thank you. And
Yeah.
you guys are all of you are so important and everything I ever wanted from the locker room and the women because coming from soccer and it was the I was with my same players for 11 years. We were a sisterhood and that's all I
Mhm.
ever wanted from wrestling and I feel that with you guys. Like this
Yeah.
coming back I was like this is what I always dreamed of and always wanted to be a part of this kind of wrestling locker room and it was like you all were just meant to be in heaven sent for me especially at this period of time because it's made me so happy and I'm having so much fun but it's like you all challenge me and push me, which I love, but you all like you make things so happy and fun. It's just you guys truly it is the best locker room. I don't ever want it to change. I want to be a part of it as long as I can be.
Yeah.
As long as his body will keep up, which, is not as long as I hope. It's, I will get whatever I can out of it. But yeah, it's just been the best. It
Yeah.
really has.
Good.
So touching a little bit on the coaching part. So, everything that you've been doing as of late, because you just had a seminar for it was only female wrestlers, correct?
It's coming up in December.
Or that's right, but
Yeah,
you can only
so
pick a certain amount.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
so I made like yeah, I mean it's hard to there's so many
I
women. I feel so
know.
terrible and I've met some
It's
women since
okay.
sending out emails and they're like, "Oh, I didn't get picked this time." But it's like I'm running a seminar in Orlando for experienced women and
Okay.
I won't even say how many I chose right now cuz like I plan to put out content and everything. But
Okay, good.
yeah, I chose a certain amount of women just to make sure that everybody it's 3-day seminar, but I want everybody to have their time, you know, and not be overlooked or not get enough attention and things like I want to be able to break things down with everybody. And like
Yeah.
the main reason I want to do this was one because you know there's so many talented women out there that are unsigned
Mhm.
right now and
Yeah.
you're seeing it more and more every week and it's beautiful to see it grow but I don't want there to be like this huge gap of independent wrestlers and women that are signed or people that are signed, whether it's TNA, WWE, whatever it is, what somebody with a contract and someone without a contract. I don't want there to be this big gap because to me, maybe not everybody, but I know there's a big group of us that like we care about independent wrestlers and like
Mhm.
we need them because
We
we're
need
not going to be here forever. We
right.
need them to be ready to go as ready as they can when they get these contracts. And I think this seminar can open doors and can open opportunities. And the more that they can learn, like I have girls coming from England, from Australia, from Malaysia, from Spain, and Canada, and all over the US. And I think like it'll be so special to be able to teach someone something, or for them to catch on to something or hear a story and take that to where they're from.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get over here from Australia to be able to learn from people that have been doing this for however long in WWE. And we're so lucky to be just around. Like we're sitting at a monitor, we're listening to Jamie Noble say one thing, and it's like, okay, I want to share that because I want to spread as much as we can. So, I'm really excited. We'll see how it goes. Like this is definitely something that I want to continue to do, and maybe go out and travel and do it so that not so many have to come all the way over here. Like
Right.
it'd be nice if I can go to Australia and then have
Yeah.
girls come in, you know. But it'll be nice because it's in Orlando where a lot of the girls live. I'm not giving any spoilers, but you never know who could show up. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And it's hard to not feel bad for the ones you have to say no to, but just think you're giving them their own story and their own journey to start.
Yeah.
I think of the times I've heard no or the times that I failed, it has given me fire to just go beyond. And
Right.
so you're giving people a great story to have the minute they do succeed or when they finally make it to the seminar
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
one day the Bayley school,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I always try and think of that because I'm just like you. I get so heartbroken over things and I want to like make everyone happy. And then I'm like, wait, this is going to be like, and my life coach helped me with this one too. Cause I'm even like this with my son. She's like, you're giving them their own story and their own journey. Remember that. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's right. You need that. It
That's a
can't
good way
always
to
be
look at it.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good way to look at it. I just have yeah, I like that better than just being like, "I'm gonna do it again, so I'll hit you up." I have a list
Yeah.
of like 50 emails um, that I still wanna be able to email and be like, "Hey, I'm doing this
Yeah.
this time." So, but I like that way too.
Yeah.
That way of
Because
thinking.
when I have, like, girls that ask, about, like, "How do I get started? What do I do?" And it's always easy to say, "Join a school, learn how to do this and blah." We'll tell 'em all things, and then I say, "And what makes you different? Like, what makes you stand out?" So when you could have the craft down and
Mhm.
you know your character, but what's your next step of standing out? How
God,
can you be the top? How do you make people stop and go, "I wanna see more of that. I need to see
yeah.
more of that."
That's
Like
so
that
hard to
you know,
answer though.
so
I
hard.
don't
That's why
even
I
know
always
what
tell
I
them,
would say.
"Go away." I know. It's like you gotta journal about it, you gotta think about it. It was like, it was kinda honestly how I came up with the booty shake because, like, then it was only network TV. They
Mhm.
were so shitty to women, and I just knew, like, Brie and I both, we had a talk with Doctor Tom about this, and it was like, I knew I needed to get attention the minute I walked out.
Mm,
Like,
ready.
twins got attention, but what else can happen? And then, like, the backflip it was just things to get attention and engage and make someone maybe stop the channel. And I
Right.
guess back then we, of course, went to booty shake because things were so about women's butts and lean there, and now
Hey,
I can't ever let go of
that
it.
booty shake is timeless, all right? You
You know
can
what
do
I
that for the
mean?
next 20 years.
Honestly, shit, it's getting, like, harder and harder. I'm like, "Why are the hips not moving like they used to?" But
You gotta do some better warm-ups then before you go out.
shit. I've thought about this, Pam, at times when it feels a little hard, I go, "Shoot, I needed to stretch the hips more, like
Yeah.
the back."
We
Like,
gotta get
I
you those
gotta
bands to, like, walk
Yeah.
around with.
Well, and you know what I've realized? Because I hit the booty shake when there's a certain beat in the song,
Uh,
but what I've realized now is the walk is further.
yeah, it's a
So
different
I need to Yeah, it's different. So I'm like, I either need to cheat a little bit instead of coming from the black curtain. I might need to take a few steps
well,
in front of the curtain and
but
go, but
you've also added the shirt rip,
yeah.
right? So, like, what
Yeah.
could but do you do that at different times now, or am I just making that
Well, I will sometimes do it after the booty it depends the feeling. Like, it's either up on the apron. See,
Yeah.
back in the day when I was the champ, at times I would do it on the apron, and then when I came back and I didn't have a championship, that's kinda where the shirt came, and 'cause I felt like I needed to do something, like, after the booty shake, my body wasn't satisfied, so I just started ripping my shirt. Now, like, even when I turned on Stephanie and I, like, ripped my shirt on the
I
apron, like,
forgot about
that just was
yeah,
like a feeling, it wasn't even a plan. I
right.
don't even know what came over me, but I needed to give something else that, like, was like, "Ugh," like, and
I
so,
hope there's not a day where your body needs more and you forget that you already ripped the shirt and you're like, "Oh,
you know yeah, I've had nightmares about it, that I've been, like,
shit."
full and then I would just
Knock
own
on
it,
wood.
of course. Yeah, knock on wood. I would just own it and be like, "Yeah, I meant to," like,
Yeah.
that I wanted to do
You're
that.
welcome. You can
You're
look, but you
welcome.
can't touch.
Exactly. So just look.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it so much. So is there any we're gonna get into a game, and then
Okay.
from there we'll get some inspiration affirmation. I'll let you go. But before we get into this game, is there like anything and I feel like this game will help, but is there anything like the fans like would be surprised to know about you?
Uh,
Oh my gosh, the laugh just says it
no.
all.
It's because it just reminds me of a video because I don't I'm gonna try to think of a real answer. Let me think. Something that they don't know about me. What
Well, you know what? Let's save it for
kind
the
of
game
boring. Okay.
because no, you're not. You're actually a ton of fun. I don't even think people realize how much fun you are. You remind me of the olden days of wrestling when we'd always all go out and have fun. You would be the life of the party, like for
I
sure.
I have such a bad reputation for that. It's so
No,
funny.
you
I
don't
know.
at
Well, I feel like
all.
the more people hear it, they're just like, "What is wrong with her?" But it's not like I'm sitting at home by myself. It's when
No,
I'm
I have the same
sometimes.
reputation. Yeah. Sometimes I'll have a glass of wine myself, but I do not drink as much wine as everyone thinks. People just
Yeah.
think I'm wine drunk 24/7.
Maybe during COVID days, okay, when we had nothing to do, that's where
You
it
know?
started.
Well, that's why God made Brie and I both pregnant in a pandemic because he goes,
Oh,
"These girls can't be
yeah.
they can't have alcohol random in during that time because I would have probably turned into an alcoholic."
Oh gosh, that is so funny. I so like Lyra tells me this all the time. She's like, I don't know how you have energy for this. I don't know how you don't sleep. But I'm like, I was raised by the Usos, Naomi and Tamina, which all
Yeah,
came, back in the days. That's just what you did. So
that's
they
just what you
they
did.
raised me.
I I'll never forget, I think it was the Usos' first time overseas, and we were all on the flight, and Bree and I and maybe it was like 8 hours or so, but Bree and I and the Usos, we literally party and drink the whole way. People were telling us to, like, shut up and go to bed, and we're on, like, a commercial flight. We're, like, playing our own music, like, just in our own world. We had the best time ever,
Those are the
and
best.
they were
Yeah.
the best memories. I will never forget. It was so us 4, Serona, Tamina, Santino, I think
Oof,
John, I believe, um, and I think there's a few other people.
so
So
dangerous.
we all were, like, so dangerous. So not only did everyone we just got done, like, being in a big circle with other talent there of doing it was like you had to think of a rap line, and then it got, like, to the next, and so we,
Cool.
like, made this big song, but then the ones that group, we all went into another room to do, like, after hours, so we all kept drinking. The next thing you know, we're all doing the Samoan fight dance, like, we're, like, going nuts, and then out of nowhere, like, Santino front flips on the table. Like, it was like we're all ripping our shirts off. We're like, "Ah!" And then we walk out, and it's like 6 a.m. breakfast time for the hotel, and we
Oh
all look
yeah.
like warriors, like, just, like, dripping sweat. We're like,
There's all this
hey,
steam coming
man."
out of the room, and
Oh
you
my
get this
gosh.
face paint on.
Mm,
Yeah,
I was nuts, but
I
the
would have
best.
been. I feel like I would have been a little scared back in those days because from what I've heard, they were really wild. Like I feel like we had some wild times, but yeah, those seemed extreme. But so amazing.
Yeah.
Like I said, those bonds and that's how you get to know each other,
Yeah,
and yeah, they're worth it.
totally.
Like
They're worth it.
I'll lose sleep to for my friendship to get stronger and to have these things we're gonna just die laughing about in years. Like I'll lose
Totally.
3 hours of sleep for that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I mean, your boys, the Hardy Boys too, back in the day,
Oh, I
like,
know.
in that era, we all had a lot of fun. Like,
Yeah.
I'll still hear certain songs, and they immediately take me to, like, Jeff and Matt and the party days and, like,
Yep.
it's always like that Papa Roach, like those kind of
Oh,
songs come
yeah.
on. I'm like, "Oh my god, those were always at the parties." It was like
Yeah.
those songs.
Dude, I
Um,
them and Jericho were, like, my favorites to be
oh,
around. Yeah.
I have so many funny stories about Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was so much fun.
Yeah.
He was a lot of fun. And just you know what it was? Like, Jericho was so fun, and at the same time, he could show, like, vulnerability and, like, really, like, feel for the girls on certain things. Like, he had that, like, feminine soft spot, I guess you could
Yeah.
say,
I
that was,
love
like,
that.
pre being accepted in those days, I guess. I don't know. Like, he was a
Interesting.
yeah, very understanding with things. Like, you could go to him and he would help you out with stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so actually, I do have one more question before the
okay.
game.
Okay.
Survivor Series week.
Yes.
So, Survivor Series, San Diego, first time, which I'm so in heaven about. Petco Park,
I bet.
finally. I'm like,
Yeah.
"What the hell? Like, how have we not done something big in San Diego?" Like,
They were waiting
you
till
know?
their time was right, you know?
Right.
Till
Where
you
Ray
were
could
there.
come back, I'm
Yeah.
here, all of us. So, all of us true 619ers. What is your favorite Survivor Series memory?
Oh, no. I'm not good at these sort of things.
I know it's
Suck at everything.
Survivor Series is kinda hard and probably for you where it's changed into war games and it's like,
Yeah.
you
Um,
know
okay, because I'm not good at remembering things from, like, my when I first started watching, I'm gonna have to use my one of my own memories, which was War Games. Um
No, that's I want your memory, like,
oh,
of
my
you like,
memory.
your
Okay,
your
okay.
personal memory.
Oh, okay. Then it would be, I think it was the second War Games that we did on main roster, so, I'm pretty sure it was me and all of Damage Control. So I had, like and which I was just proud of because I helped form Damage Control with Io and Dakota, and so, I believe Dakota was hurt, though, so but it was me, Io, Asuka, Kyrie, and I think Rhea joined us that year against Team Bianca, and Becky was a part of it and everything. But just to be there, I had like masks made for us and everything. So just to be there with a group that I had created on such a big stage and in a big
Mm.
match is very proud moment for me. Even though we lost, it was fun to be in there with them. Dakota got to come out and still have moments with us, so I felt like we were all in there together, and it was something
Oh,
that we built and we made a storyline so important that it needed to be in a match like that, so I felt really proud of that.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's, that was a badass war games.
Yeah.
Like,
That was
that
probably
set a
my favorite one.
that set a good standard, that
Yeah.
one. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You guys raised the bar real high there. Well, I've been undefeated at Survivor Series,
Ooh.
Bayley, and going in for this title, let's see.
What's
I'm
your favorite? Or what has been your
ooh.
favorite since you're
Well,
undefeated?
I feel like everyone I've done because I had a great tag match, and I'm trying to think of the other things I've done. Uh, I think the one I loved the buildup when I came back after my broken neck, and then it was when we do Team Raw versus Team SmackDown,
Yeah, those are so
and
fun.
those are so fun, and
Yeah.
that one, I felt like Vince was so invested in, so, like, because it was, like, after the whole evolution and all that, and so how he let, like, Team SmackDown invade us or Team Raw invade us and Team SmackDown, we go invade
Yeah.
them. It was such crossovers, but they let us, like, I remember when Team Raw came through the audience during a Team SmackDown moment or Charlotte watching one of my matches,
Yeah.
it was so intense for the women and then for Natty to take me out, but then Natty and I started this epic storyline after Survivor Series, so I remember being bummed I wasn't a part of it, but then what came from the story was so awesome. Like, there was just so much going on in it that I think
Yeah.
that was my favorite one ever, and even having to watch on the sideline, I still loved it all, like, because of the buildup,
The
the
build.
aftermath. It was like everything had so much meaning for so many different girls, and
Right.
so I
And
loved that.
there was really like a pride thing, like I
Yeah.
remember showing up to whatever show, opposite show I was, and like the crowd would be like, "Oh crap!" And then you like
Yeah.
blast in their locker room and
Mhm.
beat them up,
Yeah.
like. But there was a sense of pride, even though we were all on the same in the same
Totally.
division, it's like, yeah, but our show's better and our locker room's better and we get along better and watch the, like it just like you
Yes.
had to like channel something real in there.
And I
Yeah.
remember this, and you probably remember this because it went so viral, but I remember there's like there's a pre-taped stare down
Are you
moment
going?
where Natty with Zack Ryder when the girl and that was so cool, like, it was like we're all, like, standing off, men and women, and then
Yep.
Natty's just full grip on Zack Ryder's
Yep.
package.
I think I was beat up in that moment and I was like on the floor selling. And then I remember seeing the picture, like, what is she doing? But her
I
face is
love
so serious.
s
No,
Yeah,
stay down.
and it just couldn't have been more perfect too that it was Natty,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's the best
And
part.
Zack Ryder.
Yeah. The two innocent,
Uh,
goofy idiots. Like,
honestly, yeah. Oh my god, it's the best. Oh, I
yeah.
love it. Well, everyone make sure to tune into Survivor Series this
Yes.
Saturday. It is gonna make your Thanksgiving weekend just the best. A lot of fun, surprise, and all that. So, Bailey, let's get into a game, and then you're gonna give us some inspiration, affirmation. I'll let you go. We're gonna call this guy game. I'm probably gonna kind of say this wrong. Wait. So instead of unbelievable,
Oh, Baileyable.
unbelievable. There you go. That was
Unbelievable.
there you go.
Mhm.
That's really hard for me to say. Okay. If I wasn't a wrestler, I'd probably be a
I was going to school for I was taking psychology classes. I thought I would be a good counselor because
yeah.
because of my parents and because I went to counseling and stuff that I thought
Yeah.
I would be pretty good at it.
I actually agree with you. I think you'd be amazing at it.
Cool.
Um, if someone made a movie about my life, the title would be
Mm, power.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like
Don't know
that.
why.
No, but it's great. It's powerful. Makes you
Yeah.
go, "Shit." Um, my friends would describe me as, but my enemies would say I'm so 2 blanks there.
Okay. My friends would describe me as unserious, and my enemies would describe me as who probably annoying. Yeah. I think they both mesh.
Yeah,
It's kind of annoying and yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
like that. The one thing people always get wrong about me is
Mm, I don't I'm just cuz my cats are sitting here. People think I'm just this crazy cat lady now because I have
yeah,
2 cats, but I grew up with cats.
totally.
I'm an animal person, okay? I'm not just this crazy cat lady that's going to grow old alone with 17 cats. One of my best friends thinks I have 10 cats. I only have 2 cats, okay?
Okay, I like that. That's actually a good one. I once got in trouble for
Ooh, I once got in trouble for drawing a gang sign on my paper in 4th grade because I didn't know it was a gang sign, but I got caught for drawing on a piece of paper, so my teacher asked me to see it and I quickly drew the gang sign because the other piece of paper said the F word. And so I drew the gang sign and gave it to her thinking like, "Oh, she'll just think I'm drawing." And then I had a whole meeting with the principal and they thought I was in a gang when I was in 4th grade. But yeah,
That's hilarious.
that was.
As we were over in the '90s drawing the Stussy sign. Remember
Is that
the
that's that one?
that's the S,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, was
that's the
that
gang
it?
sign, gang whatever.
Oh, shoot. I think I drew that all the time, like, on my binders
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well,
It
at
was
least
like that S.
in my hood it was a gang
Oh,
sign.
shoot.
Yeah.
Dang. My toxic trait is
Oh gosh. I'm not saying I don't have any toxic traits, it's just hard to
no,
think.
yeah.
I'm a procrastinator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I have things
Yeah.
to get done, it takes me a long time to actually get to it because whenever I get home from the road, I just want to chill and
Yeah.
I have a pile of things I need to do.
Okay, yep. Okay, a few more. My current celebrity crush is
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Um, well, my top celebrity crush is Nick Miller from New Girl, who's also like, which is weird because now I
Oh,
know him. His name's Jake Johnson. But if
yeah.
Nick Miller was an actual person, I would need to marry him. The
Yeah.
character. Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
know, I'm always based mainly on characters too.
Yeah,
Like,
just the
are
character.
you a Witcher fan? Like The Witcher on Netflix?
No.
Okay, so I love it, and this season they changed The Witcher. It's Liam Hemsworth, which is, was big shoes to fill because it was, shit, what's his name? Who he was gonna be Superman and then he wasn't. Super hot, like Henry Cavill or whatever.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
But I was like, Liam made an amazing Witcher, and I was like, "Damn, I always liked your brother better, but I don't know. I like this Witcher
Worked out for
shit."
you then.
You know what I mean? I binge that shit real quick.
I know. I need to check it out
Um,
then.
oh my god, you have to but
I haven't
start from
watched
the
it.
1st season.
Okay.
It's one of those do you like, what do you call those shows where there's, like, witchery and magic, but, like, it's an era piece, but there's a lot of magic and different things to it,
Yeah.
monsters, and I love that stuff.
Okay.
So if you're into that stuff, you'll be obsessed with The Witcher.
Okay. I could give it a try. I'm not normally into that stuff, but I also wasn't into
Okay.
things like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. But then I
Okay.
was obsessed with Game of Thrones when I finally watched it. So
Okay. So
yeah.
then I feel like it'll give you similar vibes in a
Okay.
way. There's a little bit more magic and all that to it. I know Bree's like you, like she's not into that stuff, and I was obsessed with like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, all the
Right.
things. But yeah, you'll love R.L. Stein books. That was like my books
Oh
growing up.
yeah. I've
Yeah, I loved all that stuff.
so you're a big nerd.
I'm a big nerd,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to all that shit. I'm like, love it.
That's funny.
Um, let's see. I'll give you one more. The song that instantly gets me hyped is
Ooh. Okay, I gotta look up the it's Lil Wayne for sure.
oh,
Lil
I
Wayne
love
is
Little Wayne.
dude, he's my jam. I mean, like Haley Williams is my favorite right now, but oh no. Oh, Dedicate. Dedicate by Lil
Ooh,
Wayne. That gets me hyped.
I love
Yeah.
it. This past week, I haven't done this in a long time, but before I went out and I knew I was going to turn on Stephanie, I put in my headphones and I made a bad girl playlist. And I was like,
Ooh.
and you know what one of them was that I put in there, but I still don't know. I think you might be too young for this. Do you remember Willa Ford? I want to be bad.
I wanna be bad.
Yeah,
Is
there you
that
go.
it?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
I don't know why this one I now can't stop listening to, but do you remember Hot Boys by Missy Elliott?
Yes, of
That
course.
song is so
Dude,
amazing.
any
You know what
Missy
I
Elliott, but
mean?
that's a good one. That is
That one. Oh, I forgot. I played that song nonstop in high school and it like took me straight back when I would drive around and blast it, like waiting for all the Hot Boys.
yeah.
And I
Wait, did you
just
listen to that too before you went
yeah.
out?
And then Heartless. Heartless by Kanye is like
Oh,
my one to get me like right in bad girl.
yeah,
Like that. That's
that's a
it.
good one. That is a good one.
Okay, so Bailey,
Yeah.
Pam, we love to end all of our episodes with a little inspiration affirmation.
Okay.
Is there a quote or a mantra that you live by that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I don't have a quote or a mantra. I really well, there's a book
Just
I
little
read.
Wayne? Just
Huh?
kidding. I said just a little Wayne.
Yeah, just a little waiting. No, there's a book I read called The Four Agreements.
Oh
Have
my
you
gosh, someone just told me last night, literally last night, goes, "You have to overnight this." I've always meant to read it. Last night, literally, someone told me about
Well, that's
this.
crazy. Well, I'm gonna read them to you because I only memorized two of them, which sounds like,
Okay.
um, but these actually, literally, one of them helped me this morning as I was
Mm,
thinking about stuff. But the one I was thinking about this morning that always helps me is don't take anything personal. Don't take anything
mm,
personally because people are really, for the most part, not
yeah.
trying to hurt your feelings. They are just
Yeah.
doing what they need to do for them. You know, like
Yes.
they couldn't care less about you in the nicest way. So don't take anything personally. Um,
And by the way, that was the main reason why a person sent me that,
oh
was
really?
exactly what you just said. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps with work a
Yeah.
lot as well. Be
Yeah.
impeccable with your word. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Those are the four agreements.
Oh,
And it's an incredible
wow.
book if you haven't read it yet, definitely give that a go.
I love it.
Yeah.
We're all going and getting it. I'm actually right now on Amazon gonna prime it to mi casa.
You will read it so quickly.
Oh,
It's so helpful.
I love that. I'm trying to be and I've come a long way being in the era of being accepting to when things are done to me, and not even about work, like in life,
Mhm.
to not take it personal, to be like, they're on their own journey and there is a reason why they're either reacting that way or they're doing things that way. And I just have to sit back and let that happen and not know that it's not me, it's just what they're going through.
Yeah,
So
and that's
that is,
I've felt that a lot in the last couple weeks, I feel even, or in the last month, but it's, I talked to my cousin about this, about, like, the end of the year and this time of the year, like the fall, the weather changing and all that, like, it feels like everything just kinda hits you, and everything
mhm,
that you've gone through in that year, it's all just like flooding into you, you
yeah,
know? And then I had it's just been in my head a lot. Like the whole year has just been playing over and over and over and over. And that this morning, that's why it came to me, like, don't take anything personal, because,
yeah,
all you can do, like you're saying, is accept what's happening. And then what we do from there is on us.
yeah,
And we can
totally,
make it better, or we can sit in the disappointment, but
right.
that doesn't help much.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was it was so meant to be. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's crazy. I'm so excited.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll discuss in the locker room. I can't
Yes.
wait.
Now I have to
Yes,
reread
that'll be
it.
fun. Now you need to reread it.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, everyone. You can check out Bailey on her Instagram at It's Me Bailey. Make sure to tune in every Monday night, Raw on Netflix. You'll get to see some Bailey. Make sure to tune in to Survivor Series this Saturday. You're not going to want to miss it. And also check out videos from this episode on the Nikki and Brie Show's IG page, Facebook, TikTok, of course, on YouTube. And I hope you all have an incredible Thanksgiving weekend. Oh, wait, let's end it with something we give thanks about. So I'm going to give thanks to all of the women in the locker room that I get to share. They have been the biggest treat of this year, and I'm very grateful for them.
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, I'm gonna give thanks to my brother, and I wonder if he can hear me right now. He lives with me for the
Oh, he
time being.
does.
Yeah. But he puts up with all of my laziness, when I get home and
Mm,
I don't have, he takes care of my cats when I'm not here. He feeds them and
mm.
changes the litter box, and he takes the trash out. And those are very little things that makes a big difference. So I'm thankful for him.
Oh my gosh, that gives me chills. I love that. Well, happy Thanksgiving, Bailey. Sending
Happy
you lots of love.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.